Ghana Means Business, brought to you by Goyle. Goyle, good energy.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
Akaditi is a company based in London in the United Kingdom and in Accra, Ghana, at the Accra Digital Center and the leading agile organization in Africa. Akaditi brings out the best in people and companies, and they do it incredibly well using Scrum from the boardroom to the shop floor. The company functions on these key areas: agility services. They provide consulting, coaching, and training. Technology. They develop software products for partners and customers. Events. They organize Scrum and Agile events in Africa and in the UK. SocoPay.com, a mobile money and mobile payment solution of the future for Africa. Akaditi is guided by the philosophy of making the world a better place by delivering great products with professional Scrum by using these three core approaches: start a pilot, scale to many teams, and transform the organization. Akaditi helps one to become agile and transform their world through agility and experimental thinking. But wait a minute, what does it mean to be agile? Why is agile so important in our world? And what is really driving it? For answers to these and more, stay tuned as we interact with the man behind Agile in Africa.
So is there a reason too for these colors? Or
the whole idea is to inject a bit of, something colorful, vibrancy.
And these two are all part of the vibrancy.
Yeah, it's just to somehow return people to their childlike state.
I thought you take them out and start hitting them sometimes.
We also do that as well. we also do that.
And this is so colorful.
Exactly.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Wow.
Thank you. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
Every now and again, Goyle makes good things happen. This time, Goyle has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goyle Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goyle Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goyle Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goyle Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goyle has that sorted. Goyle, good energy.
Ghana Means Business. Your story, our message.
Today, we are indeed honored to hear from the CEO of Akaditi. Everything there is to know about agile and transformation. My brother, a pleasure to see you.
The pleasure is all mine.
You look wonderful as usual.
Learning from you as well.
This is a bit unusual for an office. It's open space, colorful, dramatic. Is that part of the whole idea, or it is just a design concept?
It is a design concept, but the whole idea is also to create an environment that is enabling, that allows people to innovate and experiment and make it a little bit more fun, especially when they're working on serious stuff.
Nana, I want to dive right into, because I just can't wait. I've been hearing so much about Agile. What is Agile, and why is it so important in a place like Ghana and in general, Africa?
Agile means many different things to many people. I think that's a key thing for me to mention here. However, if you look at Agile today globally and think about where it started, Agile actually started as a set of management practices for doing software engineering.
Okay.
Because it was started by the advocates of, software engineering. Okay. There were software engineers that actually put all of this together. They wanted a different way of working, so they came together in 2001 and codified it, or at least somehow made it a bit more formal and called it Agile, this new way of working, because they didn't really enjoy the way they were building software in the old world.
I'm trying to remove the software aspect.
Yes.
And deal with the aspect that has made businesses become exponentially greater than their competition. So,
right.
For example, what has made it so popular, and how is it practical from a business perspective?
Okay, so seeing the benefits that happen in the software engineering community, Agile started to seep into other parts of the organization, so into finance, into HR. Managers started paying attention because they realized that these Agile teams were actually doing some really incredible stuff and delivering value a bit quicker. And they seemed more engaged, and the whole process and approach seemed to be delivering business value, far more quicker than the other traditional teams that were working in a non-Agile way. So it started in the software engineering community, and then with the success and some of the challenges, it started to grow into the organization, where today, and I think from about 2016, it's rapidly become a topic in the boardroom. McKinsey has written about it. Harvard Business Review in 2016 came out with the Embracing Agile. However, we now find ourselves, in the fourth industrial revolution. The first industrial revolution was about steam, steam engines. And then the second industrial revolution was more electrical, so we talk about electricity. And then we had the third industrial revolution, which was computing. And that was like in the 20th century. Computers became...
Only yesterday.
Only yesterday. Computers became a big part of our society. So we're now in the fourth industrial revolution: artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, big data, virtual reality, augmented reality. There's so many new technology, robotics, so many, telemedicine. We see so many different technologies around us.
And all these are as a result of Agile?
Well, all this is as a result of innovation and experimentation. And transformation, because of course there's a transition from the 20th century model to the 21st century model. However, all of these wonderful ideas, many of them are actually being built in an Agile way.
Okay.
So with the digital age, with the fourth industrial revolution, Agile is following and driving, enabling many of the new things that we're doing today. And so you see that where software has now shifted from a cost in business, it has now shifted to becoming an asset.
Absolutely.
So software is now an asset. So how do you leverage on that asset? Well, many of these great companies that we hear, doing incredible things like Uber and many others, guess what? The amazing thing here is that we see these great technologies and the services they offer, but we don't often ask the question, how do they do it? And if we really want to look at things in a very simple way, talk about Agile.
Yes.
Agile is a way of prioritizing work. The second part to it, the way I say it, is Agile is a way of organizing that work.
So prioritizing,
organizing the work, and also a way to organize the people to do the work.
Okay.
So I didn't say manage the people, organize the people, because Agile promotes small teams delivering a specific value. And so in the traditional organization, you have different departments: finance, HR, operations, audit, marketing, all different silos.
Different silos.
And each of them have some agenda or a plan to put something out there. What that does is create a lot of waste in the organization, because each department, some departments are even, in fact, the organization may be duplicating several solutions, 3-4 departments building that same solution, delivering something similar. So what do? You actually introduce waste into the organization.
There's no synergy.
There's no synergy. So Agile really forces is redefining the concept of the traditional corporate organization as we know it today. Is redefining the concept of it totally. And that shift from the 20th century to the 21st century, Agile is doing that enabling in terms of redefining what should the modern corporation of the future look like. What types of technology? What's the leadership style? what's the management style? You know, and what should be the purpose of the modern organization? So Agile is forcing us to look at certain questions, to think about our behaviors, our values, to think about continuous improvement, and also to organize value. So 3 things: prioritize work, organize the work, and organize the people doing the work. You know, so Agile basically tries to promote a different way of delivering value to customers. So what happened? Let me give you a practical example. Okay. So a bank wants to deliver a better mortgage solution. So what do? They will get somebody from operations, someone from governance, someone from sales and marketing, someone from retail banking, someone from, you know,
and put them all together
into one team.
Okay.
Not working in their departments in silos, into one team and say, this is a mortgage product. All the different people across the bank who deal with mortgage, who deal with finance, we bring it together with some software engineers. Because one of the principles of Agile is, you know, business and technology people sitting down together and working together every day.
Very important.
So you bring the technology people together, you bring all the business people together, and they form one team. And they work in cycles of 1 to 4 weeks. So at the end of this time box of 1 to 4 weeks, they deliver something that a customer can use.
And they can look at it,
they
and
look
if
at
there's
it.
Any corrective action to be taken, they can do that.
Exactly.
Agile, Agile, Agile. Apple, Samsung, banks, public sectors, countries, Agile all over the place. Why must companies adopt Agile? And what significance or impact would it have on their organizations?
So Agile enables you to grow the value of your organization. And by growing the value of organization, what do I mean by this? How can we determine this value? Well, there are a number of things that Agile actually gives today's organization, the modern organization. One, it actually enables organizations to produce the right things first. And when you produce the right things first, you reduce waste in the system. You're able to actually, in some cases, eliminate waste. So you take a lean thinking or a lean approach. So by focusing on producing the right things first, you reduce waste, you're able to respond quicker to the customer. Because today's world is driven by customers, and customers are insatiable and incredibly impatient, and they want it now. I haven't been in my bank in like 20 years. I've not stepped into my bank because I do online and mobile banking. So I don't even know who my relationship manager is in the UK, for example. In Ghana, I do know because it's a different system. So I haven't stepped foot in my bank for so long. Now, in this digital age, most people want to do things on their mobile. And so what Agile also does for many organizations is it looks at ways to really delight the customer. Can we meet the customer where the customer is rather than the customer coming to us? So Agile gives you that reach to be able to connect better with your customer, to look at the customer experience, to look at how to delight the customer, but also how to delight your employees. How can you create a modern organization that is relevant to the time? And how can you create an organization that is also future-proof so that in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, it is still relevant?
And Nana, what is amazing is it took about 300 years from steam to electricity.
That's right.
Another 100 years from electricity to computing.
That's right.
And now with the fourth industrial revolution, universes, held beliefs, existed concepts are now being transformed exponentially by the minute.
Yes.
In Silicon Valley.
Yes.
So it is almost as if you fail to understand the transformational era that we are in, you're going to become a victim of the past. And case in point is Nokia.
Yes.
I mean, I remember in the 90s, early 2000s, Nokia was the king of the block.
That's right.
So was Sony Ericsson, and later BlackBerry and others that came along.
Yeah.
But somehow they forgot that Android and touchscreens were going to be the future.
Absolutely.
And now if you ask my kids, have you heard about Nokia? You're
No.
going to ask, who?
What's Nokia? You're totally on point. You know, take Kodak, for example, as well,
Exactly.
and Olivetti. We have many examples of organizations that did not see the change coming. And it's totally logical that if you're switching from one century to the next century, and you have all these new technologies, you have the internet, you have mobile, then you have software and all of that's good stuff, that somehow, as a business leader, you should start strategizing around how you can leverage on all of these technologies so that you can, well, increase the bottom line, you know, and perhaps even create a great customer experience and inspire the employees. So there's been a lot of changes around the world, and the revolution has been happening for quite some time.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, in parts like Africa, we've not really felt that revolution because...
Specifically in Ghana. I
Yes.
want us to dwell on Ghana. You've been in the market. You've been
Yes.
in Ghana. I know Amazon, Google, Facebook, FBI, all the major institutions that are making breakthroughs.
Yes.
Uber are using Agile as part of their transformation process and to stay at the cutting edge of the competition. Because
Yes.
you don't achieve this level of exponential growth by just using, you know, practices and management concepts that existed 100 years ago.
Absolutely.
So, you being in the market
Yes.
and preaching this, how has the public sector, most importantly, received you, the messenger?
The public sector, those who have actually seen this working, they've liked the idea, and I think it requires a little bit more than raising the awareness. They need to test the idea to see that it actually works. Then we need to showcase this to them as well. They like the idea, but they don't fully understand it. And I think this is part of the challenge that
They
we
don't
have.
understand why
Agile-
Amazon, Jeff Bezos is the richest person in the world.
They don't fully understand the how. You know, they see the...
They don't understand why Uber is the largest mobile application but doesn't own a single car.
They get the idea, but they don't know how it was done.
They don't know how Airbnb is taking on 5-star, 4-star luxurious hotels, bringing
Yes.
them down. They don't understand that.
The how, they don't understand. They see, you know, the outcome in terms of the service on your phone, that you can actually use Airbnb app on your phone. They see the Uber on you can download it from Google Play Store. They see all of that, but they don't know how. It's just the same thing.
But Anna, if they don't know how, are they still caught up in religion to the extent that they still think that miracles are happening all over the world, and through the prayer camps of Uber, Airbnb, and other companies, that is how this exponential growth is happening? And if a messenger like yourself is coming in and you are not being received, I find that incredulous.
The reception that I've had from a few people have been really awesome. And I see that there's quite a lot of other people as well in the system who are still trying to understand what this agile thing is all about and what transformation is all about. We hear this and they become like buzzwords. You even have organizations that says they're agile, but it's a buzzword. You know, they look agile, but they're not really agile. Apart from that as well, we have a situation here where some of the leaders of these public sector departments, they've been to the best schools. They understand, the impact of technology and
Absolutely.
all of these great ideas. Some will say that maybe they don't have the funding to do it, to do the transformation of their department or their sector. So again, is it funding? Is it leadership? Is it insight? Is it, do you need a guiding coalition of people? Do you need an effective management team that will help that person at the top to do all of these things? Well, the answer beats me as well sometimes, because I would want to say that it is important that we start having these very deep conversations about change, about transformation. And I see a great future for countries like Rwanda, including Ghana, However, we need to commit. We need to commit to excellence. We need to commit to moving from good to great. We have incredibly smart people in this country, and I hope you don't mind. This is not part of the show, but you're one of them. I mean, your team and everyone else. You know, Ghana means business.
Thank you.
We have, and I see incredibly smart people in Ghana everywhere I go to. So, what is missing? How can we actually bring this public sector and the private sector together to actually drive the change that's required across the whole country?
And now what is missing is the absence of Ghana first. If there was a national development agenda, or if there was a national agenda that we should see ourselves as Ghanaians and not NDC or NPP first, or not GA or GA Dambe second, that will change the paradigm.
Absolutely.
We have too much vested interest,
Yeah.
such that if the NDC is in power, no NPP person can occupy a public sector high seat
Yes.
or membership on the board or any ministerial positions, because this is only for a particular party.
Yeah.
So how do you fight a battle? And we are indeed fighting a battle, a global battle, where there's so much competition amongst all the countries in the world to attract investment and retain the very best. That is the global competition that we
right.
face.
That's right.
And if we are only fighting this battle with 50% or less of your men, how do you expect to achieve greatness? That is the key answer to what you just asked.
Absolutely.
We do not see Ghana as a priority. Our priority, our interest as a nation or as managers of the nation is about the political party and the political affiliation that you have subscribed to.
Every now and again, Goil makes good things happen. This time, Goil has introduced Super XP Ron 95, a higher grade fuel loaded with additives and yet sold at the same price as normal fuel. Goil Super XP Ron 95 enhances engine performance like never before. It maintains the engine by keeping it clean from carbon deposits. Goil Super XP Ron 95 is designed to burn slowly and thus improves fuel economy, making you save money after several kilometers. Goil Super XP Ron 95 gives you a smooth driving experience, that is, less vibrations. Fill up with Goil Super XP Ron 95. Now there's no need to pay more for any higher grade fuel. Goil has that sorted. Goil, good energy.
Ghana means business. Your story, our message.
Nana, if we do not welcome change, what are the implications for us in Ghana?
Well,
Especially in the public service.
well, for me, what I see
And
here,
state institutions, the Ghana Police, Customs, and others in the public service. If we don't, what are the implications?
the implications are quite serious.
Please educate us.
So when we talk about implications, let's look at the education system. You know, how we educate our kids and young people and people in universities. That's going to be affected because we're not preparing our generation for the future. We're not preparing people for the global job market and what's currently happening around the world. So let's go into agriculture. If we don't adopt new ways of working, if we don't adopt new technologies into agriculture, again, we don't produce better crops, we don't actually produce enough to feed the country, we have to import food. So the consequences are quite dire because the world is moving so fast, and if we're moving very slow, we're not going to be able to grab those opportunities and to be able to address some of the challenges that will come as a result of those opportunities. We'll not be able to address them properly and effectively. So what we have currently in Ghana is a situation where some companies, some of them are international, some of them are local businesses that are beginning to really wake up to the idea of business agility or organizational agility. And so they're talking about agile, design thinking, they're talking about different engineering practices, they're talking about better products.
Nana, tell me, Kagame, or Kagame's Rwanda, came out of a major conflict, a devastating war between the two major tribes, the Tutsis and the Hutsis. Devastating. And this man, over a relatively short period of time, has been able to transform his nation into a first-class nation, clean, effective, and very, very efficient. In your professional role, looking at agile and transformation, what do you think happened in terms of the model of Rwanda or Kigami?
I believe that the first thing that he started to look at is a philosophy. You know, what does the new Rwanda look like? How can we get this country to be healed and to be empowered? And so his leadership style was largely around servant leadership. You might actually want to compare some of the things he's doing to Singapore, Lee Kuan Yew, and some other interesting characters around the world who've tried to transform their countries, like Malaysia. You know, Mahathir Mohamad did quite well as well at some point. Mm-hmm. It's based on that leadership style of wanting to achieve more for the people, but creating this idea of a one Rwanda. You know, the philosophy behind that is to bring the people together, less about tribes and more about nation building. So doing that,
Rwanda first.
Rwanda first. That was really, really important. And he completely committed to that 100%. And that's the reason why it is not tolerated for you to talk about divisions. It's not even, I mean, it's like trying to talk about divisions in Israel when it comes to issues of the Holocaust, for example. I mean, it's a sacred topic, and you can't just talk about it lightly.
Absolutely.
So in Rwanda, their Holocaust is a sacred topic that must not be talked about lightly. He could have gone the other way and decided, I'll just enrich myself. Well, he didn't do that. He decided to have this Rwanda first philosophy, to look at his leadership style, but also to organize how the work will be done. You know?
Now, on that note, Lee Kuan Yew did something similar in Singapore, where he banned that there was not going to be any Malay, Chinese, or Singaporean. They were all going to be just one.
Yes.
Ghana, what do you think could be the rallying call such that we'll be able to get over our ethnocentric differences and our tribal affiliations? What must be done in the case of Ghana using the same transformational or agile process?
You know,
did Nkrumah try something like that?
It did try something like that, and I think that's why the state of Ghana was created, you know, moving from Gold Coast to Ghana, to have a country where everybody could identify with one particular ideal or idea. In the case of Ghana today, I would say that, you know, we have some excellent examples in terms of ideas. However, if we took even the Rwanda example and said Ghana first, you know, Ghana first, not Ashanti, not Fanti, not Dagomba, Dagati, Frafra, you know, or Ga, you know, Ghana first. And we focus on that. And going by what the president has been promoting, Ghana Beyond Aid. Because of course, once you've enriched the mind and the spirit and you've inspired people, Ghana first, the next thing is, you know, let's talk about, you know, the belly and how people are going to live, you know, so Ghana Beyond Aid. I love the concept. I think it's one of the most powerful rallying, you know, sort of ideas, you know, that we've had in a very long time, Ghana Beyond Aid, and looking at how we can translate that into the abundance that we see in Ghana today. Everywhere I look, there's abundance. Great people, great organizations, and so many great opportunities. Look at the land mass in Ghana, the amount of forests we have, and how can we be hungry when we have so much forest and we have, you know, so many young people and so many people who are able-bodied and can work, you know.
Next week on Ghana Means Business.
Who is a Scrum Master?
Yes, it's somebody who has learned Scrum, and they basically support other people to adopt Scrum.
Are you a Scrum Master?
I am a Scrum Master.
How did you become a Scrum Master?